Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is as I'm posting this here. This will be labeled for October 17th. I'm posting it in time for the 17th where I am in the world. But depending on where you are in the world, 17th may be coming to a close. Or you might see this video in a few weeks, a few months. So I'm setting the intention that this message be a message for you for the next 24 hours from whenever you see it. I want to say happy birthday to the October 17th babies. And happy birthday to you, whatever day you watch this, if you happen to watch it on a random day that's not October 17th, but happens to be your birthday. So we're going to see what messages are coming up here, my dears, my darlings, my lovelies. And we have the Queen of Wands. Now, traditionally, this could be a fire sign person, sun, moon, rising, or Venus. So you could be dealing with a fire sign person. For some of you, a feminine energy, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. If you have fire sign placements, you may be focusing and developing those houses or areas of your life. Queen of Wands could also be that you're coming into the characteristics of the Queen of Wands. We just came out of a really powerful full moon. We're headed towards some eclipses here. There's a lot going on energetically. So this is a massive transformative time. Like a lot of us are tapping into this transformative energy and really ascending and evolving and clearing and healing. And so, in this process, some of you may be in some ways not reinventing yourself, but shaking off everything that kind of had you covered up and energetically. And now it's like you're coming into the characteristics of the Queen of Wands or calling a Queen of Wands type person into your life. Queen of Wands is ambitious, independent, the life of the party, very alluring, very charismatic, right? People are going to be chasing after her, interested in her. Um, there's like an entrepreneurial element to her and to the King of Wands for me in my readings. So some of you may be establishing successful self-employment or ways of passive income. And the Queen of Wands, and this is something that is going to happen for readers over time. Every reader is going to have certain cards that have a little extra meaning to them. Like over the years reading for people, they'll notice a pattern and they'll be like, oh, okay, for me in my readings, when this card comes up, this is what this means. And one of the things I've seen over the years reading for people is that the Queen of Wands, for me in my readings, my guides will bring up this card to tell me that you're coming into a time where you're fed up. Like you're done with the crap. You're done with the BS. Like there's a lot of anger coming to the surface. And what happens when we're on spiritual path and we feel anger come up, we immediately think, oh my gosh, no, this is negative. I got to be neutral. I got to be in my zen. I can't have all this toxic energy in me. But anger itself is not toxic. Anger, it's an energy. It's a tool. So whether or not it's toxic comes down to what you do with it. It's like fire. You can use fire to destroy and wreak havoc and to burn down, or you can use fire to melt down materials and refine them, right? It can be used in alchemy. It can be used in disinfecting certain tools or instruments. It can be used to forge instruments. Or tools for hunting, or what have you. It can be used to keep yourself warm. It can be used to cook a meal, to prepare food to eat. So it can be used as protection to keep wild animals away. So fire can be used in a lot of really constructive ways, or it can be absolutely destructive. It's the same with our anger. Anger in itself is not negative. Emotions in themselves are not negative. It comes down to what we're dealing or how we're dealing with it. So as this, some of you are going to have anger coming to the surface. As this anger is coming to the surface, allow it to serve as fuel to the fire that gives you the motivation for change. that keeps you motivated towards a better life, that keeps you hungry for what you know that you deserve. For me, the Queen of Wands comes up when your eyes are opening up and you're realizing how much other people benefit from having you around. You're kind of like this goose that lays golden eggs, right? And when you speak up and you ask for better conditions or better compensation, you're either silenced and stifled to just shut up and keep laying those old golden eggs, or they stroke your ego. But they don't give you what you want, they don't give you what you're asking for, but they stroke your ego and they flatter you. Oh, I really wish I could give you a raise. Oh, I really wish I could promote you, but we just, times are so tough right now and I don't, but please don't ever leave us. Oh, we'd fall apart without you. You keep this place running. We don't know what we'd ever do without you. And they stroke your ego. Okay, well, at least they appreciate me, and you're making a sacrifice you don't need to be making. So with this Queen of Wands, it's like you start to realize how much you bring to the table, how much people are benefiting from you, and you're tired of not being compensated fairly, whether it's in career and financial situations or energetic exchange. So the Queen of Wands realizes this and she's like, I'm done. And she reaches for better opportunities. And because she's so angry, because she's so driven, she gets to that change very quickly. She manifests the next thing very quickly. So this is a beautiful, powerful energy. You all are coming into a beautiful, powerful energy of change and like going for what you want and getting it. As I said, that ambitiousness, that confidence. I am gonna give you one more message that just now is coming in. And this is something that is gonna be maybe a bit of a touchy subject. Okay. I do not believe that anybody has to look a certain way. I do not believe that you can judge somebody's spirituality based on their physical appearance or their stature or their build. I've always been a bit of a chunky kid, and I fluctuate through chunky to curvy to hefty. My whole life I've kind of fluctuated, and I've recently tapped into my causes for that. And so some of you maybe have a similar thing. In fact, in the private readings, it's a question that comes up for me a lot. A lot of people ask me about weight loss and things like this. I'm not saying that people have to lose weight. I'm not saying that you have to look a certain way. Everybody's body is different, and I don't think you can judge spirituality by it. I know there's some people that feel like, oh, well, you have to be a vegan if you're a spiritual person, and that means that you're going to be really lean and really just like skin and bones. And there are people that have that mentality. I'm not one of them. But with this message, what I'm getting is that some of you may have been doing things deliberately. Like it might be self-conscious. You don't realize that you were doing it, but self-conscious. You might have been doing things deliberately in your mind that make you think, okay, well, this is less inviting or this is less attractive, in a way of like keeping people away. And so like for you, it's like, this is how I'm going to be safe, or this is how I'm going to like be in my power, right? I'm not going to conform. I'm not going to be like everybody else. This is how I'm going to be in my power. This is how I'm going to be safe. For those of you who have done these things, like maybe dress a certain way or do certain things physically because you think it makes you less of a target or keeps you safe, or you use it as a way to filter out fake people, or whatever your thinking is. I feel with this Queen of Wands, you're coming into a sense of personal power and a sense of safety where you're like, I don't need this buffer anymore, because I know I can defend myself. I know I can protect myself. I know I can stand up for myself. Maybe somebody wants to underestimate me or think that they're going to fool me in some way. That's cool. They'll learn. They'll learn soon enough, right? So I feel like Those of you who have done things physically as a means of rebellion or as a means of protection, you're like, I don't need this because my words, my spirit, my energy, my mind, my strategy is enough. I don't need this other stuff. So, I think I'm going to do a more extended video on that in the future. And when I say extended, I don't mean a video that you have to pay for. I know a lot of the times with the tarot readers, they're like, oh, check out the extended video and you got to pay for the extended. That's not what I mean by extended. But to go into that topic, I'm finally, right when I was going to start doing the videos on like the more spiritual vloggy stuff, things happened back to back. I had the car accident. I got sick. I ended up getting diagnosed with the autoimmune stuff. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind, but that's what happens with negative ego. That's what happens when certain energies don't want you to speak. They try to slow you down. They try to stop you. So I'm finally getting things set up. And so in the future, I would like to talk about these things more in depth in a different video format. Those will be coming. But anybody that you've been hiding or rebelling in your physical form, you don't feel like you need it anymore. You're like, I don't need this. I don't need this to be safe. I don't need this to be successful. I don't need this. Or maybe vice versa. Maybe some of you were doing things physically that you thought were going to be alluring or things that you thought were going to be attractive. Oh, people are going to like me. People are going to take me more seriously. And you're realizing it's been attracting a different kind of attention or a different type of clientele or a different type of colleagues or, whatever it might be. So I feel like there's this shift where you're like, I don't need this anymore. Whatever you've been doing in a physical way to put out a sense of identity or to set yourself up to succeed or to set yourself up to be safe, you're like, I don't need this. And I can come into the world in my physical form in a more authentic way, right? Like who I am, how I am, like more naturally, and not have to present myself in this way I think I need to look to get the reaction I think I need. Because I'm gonna be clear about who I am in the way that I carry myself, in the way that I walk, in the way that I speak, in the things that I do and create in my life. That's a powerful message. Weekly forecasts are coming up. I meant to finish them after I did the live reading last night, but I'm not gonna lie to you folks, I knocked out like a loser. I'm telling you, I've just been really, really, really just that sleep monster has, I shouldn't say monster, but a lot of my release right now is coming through sleep. I knocked out. So I'm gonna finish those up. You'll see those popping up. I am taking time off in the coming week from private readings so that I can get on track and do the weekly forecasts ahead, midweek, the week prior. And you guys will be seeing the forecasts for 2023 popping up, the 12-month forecasts. Usually I do the private ones, like the personal ones for $175, but I'm dropping the prices on some of my readings. And so this year, instead of $175 for the 12-month New Year reading, it's going to be $111. I also lowered the 60-minute video readings, the 30-minute video readings. I know the economy is not so great right now. So I thought about it, I prayed about it, I meditated about it, and I felt like, you know what, I'm going to lower these prices. So if you want to schedule with me, there's a link in the description that takes you to calendly.com. You can schedule a private reading with me there. So you'll be seeing over the next few days the forecast for 2023 coming up for all the zodiac signs, love readings for November, and then the weekly forecast for the coming week should be popping up a bit sooner this time around. So I just want to get organized so that, private readings aren't delayed as often as they've been. So I thank you for your patience as I'm going through my own clearing and my own healing journey and my own stuff. And I thank you all for being here and allowing me to be a part of your journey. And I'm wishing you all the best. Take care and be well, my darlings.